Good afternoon, hello everyone, morning if you're in the US, bright and early. This is ZeldaSpeedRuns, and we've got Ocarina of Time Randomizer. This is juwk vs KillerApp for Losers Bracket Round 2. I'm Din, I'm your host and commentator, and I've got Emo Soda here to also join me with some lovely words. Hello.
Hey, how's it going,
Oh,
everyone?
blimey, you're loud on stream. Let me turn you down a bit on there. Sorry to anyone who just got their eardrums burst. Good old audio balancing. Alright, so they're just getting ready to start here. Fire medallion to begin with. Not the worst one to start with, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm pretty, neutral on starting stones and medallions nowadays. Like, it doesn't really matter. And
Not in the grand scheme of things, I suppose. Or at least not. It can matter, but it's hard to tell when it's obviously not started yet.
Right, unless it's like forced medallion, then, it doesn't really turn my head.
Yeah, it's not really going to change your opener, I guess.
Not too much, no. Yeah, it should be a pretty good match. Losers bracket, two really strong players. We've got the giant KillerApp and juwk here, and we're just about to start here.
And we've got matching tunics today. Yeah. Bit embarrassing for them to both come out in the same colour.
It's not quite the same, I don't think. I think it's slightly different.
Almost the same. Yeah, you're right. It's KillerApp's got a slightly brighter orange, whereas juwk's gone for the more muted, sort of muddish orange colour there. So, has Midas House got anything? It looks like no. Couple of blue pieces, couple of heart pieces.
juwk just gonna skip Kakuri Sword. Oh, both are gonna skip it.
Yeah, leave that one for later. That seems to be the common play these days.
Especially in this tournament, we see a lot of players, and I see probably a majority of them actually just skipping the chest and coming back later for it, which I don't really blame them for. Looks like we're gonna have a divergence right now.
Yeah, juwk heading semi-final, KillerApp going straight over to market. And yeah, there's one chest in that Kakuri Sword thing, so what are the chances there's going to be something actually useful? I mean, yeah, it could be bomb bagged, it could be hook shot, but most of the time it's going to be junk, and on the occasion it's actually something useful. You can probably just pick it up later and it won't actually affect your route too much.
Yeah,
that's the hope, anyway.
An item in Mido's house too. That way they can actually confirm whether or not it's not Baron.
Yeah. Yeah, if you find something in Mido's house, then you know you won't get a Baron hint, so maybe worth checking it out, but even then, even when you do get an item in Mido's, I don't really see anyone ever bothering with that chest now.
And Open Grotto dead here. When you do get a Frogs 2 hint, that is also dead.
Never Frogs 2. Except for that one occasion where it was, and it was all dungeons as well.
Uh-huh.
KillerApp heading straight into market now, so gonna stock up on some Deku sticks, I guess.
And to me, this just screams he's just gonna commit to 3-song here. Not very surprising. We see a lot of players just kind of do that. It's a very strong opener for a lot of different reasons. Probably the most consistent one.
Yeah, getting those songs early definitely helps a lot. And we've got juwk finding Way the Hero Dodongo's Cavern there. So something useful needed from that dungeon today. Don't know what it is yet. DC, of course, being a dungeon we normally have to do anyway. It's generally early sphere, so even if it's a stone dungeon, they're probably going to dip it at some point.
And juwk's time of day here, working out really nicely.
Yeah, just what he wants to see there, turning nighttime as soon as he goes into market, so we can do the Richard check here and then go on and go grab Zelda's Lullaby.
And grabbing that
whichever song is.
a lot harder than it looks in terms of timing.
Yeah, getting
get
time
off.
of day routing in your early route is a bit of a tricky skill if you're new to the randomizer, but it is an essential one. And
Ooh.
bomb bag. Yeah, that's why it's an essential one, because that's the sort of thing, the sort of check you don't want to pass over.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what KillerApp's plan is here. It might just wait for time of day. It's going to lose about 30 seconds.
Yeah, going straight to market, you don't have the advantage of going nighttime. The old route was to go do open grotto, then come here to markets, and that did give you decent time of day routing. But yeah, KillerApp might go early adult, or we'll see, I guess. Checking bomb tree bowling, but nothing to be found there. Apart from validation rupee, but yeah, don't think he's concerned about that. Oh my goodness, 50 skulls is boomerang, Ocarina of Time is Song of Storms. And we've got
Okay.
Requiem on Burning Cack.
Oh my god.
Oh, shitty ditty.
Those are some major hints here for the seed.
Yeah, that's a very stacked set of hints outside Temple of Time for sure. Both runners picking up at the same time, so they'll be contemplating that heavily now, I suspect.
If anything is in bottom of the well here, it's just confirmed all dungeons at this point. So
Yeah,
with that combined with 50 skull seed for maybe having to do
maybe 50 skulls.
Yeah.
We'll find out very shortly here, because KillerApp's probably going to check the pedestal right now. So, is it going to be a Jabby Medallion dungeon? DC Forest? Come on, KillerApp, don't keep us waiting. Fire,
Oh, there
water,
it is.
Jabby, there it is. Jabby is required. We've got a 50 skull seed, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get those commands updated very shortly. I've just been keeping an eye on stream as well, so I don't want to miss any hints. 50 skulls is required. And Skullmask is dead.
We've also recently had another 50 skull seed within the tournament just the past few days here. So for all you skull lovers out there, it's going to be a good one to watch.
What was it on the 50 skull the other time we had this? I think it was oh, I can't remember now. Is it hover boots? No, I don't think that was right.
Mirror shield or I think Dens.
Yeah, that was it. Dense fire. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. It was starting to look in that seed like you'd have to go to Shadow relatively early, but turned out to not be needed until like reasonable way through the seed. Still had to kind of rush skulls at a certain point though for that one. So Serenade from Impa there, giving us a little bit of warp utility. Yeah, Boomerang, that one's a bit of a crapshoot really. It's also an annoying one to have on skulls because that means you can't really well, you can't use it at all to get any child era skulls. So they're going to have to rely on Boomerang, Hookshot and Bottle in order to get that number up.
Now, this could be really bad for KillerApp. Missing out on that bomb bag pretty early is really going to...
Yeah, that's kind of... That's not a great one for him to lose out on there. And you saw Hyrule Castle is a foolish choice there.
Was that a hook shot on top of the Dongos?
I didn't see it. The stream lagged for me a little bit there.
It's a little hard to see it. Yeah, KillerApp won't be able to go to Sacred Forest Meadow through Goron City this way without the bombs. Oh, and it was hook shot.
Hey. Well, that's useful. Unfortunately, yeah, like I say about Bomb Bag, he's kind of stuck now, so he can't get through Goron City. Can't do DC, which is the real killer, really, because DC's way the hero. Duke is going to be able to full clear that as soon as he gets, as soon as he picks up the Master Sword, pretty much. So, Duke's going to have a definite advantage when it comes to Adult 1 here.
Oh, definitely. And it won't take that much time more for the 3-song route plus Deku Tree. Really going to be about maybe tops 15 minutes from now. Being able to go back to adult with Serenade. Very nice way to get back. And they do both know that it's a 50 Skull Seed, so it will inform their routing here.
Well, juwk doesn't have it confirmed yet because he doesn't know Jabu's a medallion.
Oh, sure.
But I mean, in his mind, it probably is a 50 Skull Seed by this point because like, there's only like a 30% chance or whatever of it not being one, the medallion layout. Spirit Temple is way of the hero.
Ooh.
Stone Spirit, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So
it's gonna be really.
Even if it's not AD, we've got at least one stone dungeon in the mix now. Lero from Malon.
Prelude from Song of Storms.
Finding all of our not very useful songs. Not really found any of the big important ones yet, though.
It'll be pretty nice here for KillerApp having Prelude right now. It might just go back Child immediately, not even getting like the SFM or Crater songs.
Yeah, we can't get Crater at all yet. He could go for SFM, but it's kind of out of the way. So yeah, I expect you're right. He'll probably just play Prelude and head back. There's a bottle with bugs. That's going to be very useful for juwk. Got to collect up those skulls as soon as he can, really. So helpful. KillerApp does find some explosives. Might be a little bit. Might have a bit of a savior here. Having skipped out on that bomb bag.
Yeah, see how many there are.
Yeah, I'll have to see when he next pauses. I think there was anything up on the ledge there. Probably just a bloopy.
Yeah, I believe so. It's an interesting way to do the damp arrays. You don't really see that route going to the right side there in the first couple of rooms.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that, which leads me to believe it might be a fraction slower, because I imagine if that was the optimal route, the vanilla speedrunners would use it all the time. On the other hand, I suppose it is probably the more consistent route, because Dampe won't throw as many flames at you. So that might be why KillerApp's chosen that. Makes it less likely to get trolled. There's the other Spirit Temple where the hero hints.
And it looks like he's going to go for the jump here to the right-hand side on the hint. A very kind of tight jump if you don't get it right, and you're just going to lose time if you don't make it, but juwk gets it very easily, and the Crater way the hero. Oh, going back to recheck it.
Like, is that trail? Is that crater? Can be easy just to... You definitely don't want to write down the wrong one on this. Like, if you misstated way to hero, it's going to cause all sorts of trouble.
Especially with that bomb bag. It looks like it was a 10-pack of chews. KillerApp side.
Okay, that's not too bad. Bomb bag obviously is a lot better. But KillerApp could dip into DC with those chews if he wanted to.
Yeah, it tends about all you need on this seed, and you'll be able to find bomb bag in a lot of situations. Being able to save Scummit is a handy skill to have, especially in this kind of a situation where you don't know exactly where the bomb bag's gonna be, at least from KillerApp's perspective.
He's going to want to be careful with those chews if he's going to continue with at 1 here, which does seem to be the play he's going for now.
And imagine he's just going to...
A nice, almost vanilla slingshot there.
Yeah. Even though he doesn't have the hint, it's pretty efficient to just do the loop of Crater, DMT, and then dipping DC at this point, and then he could just warp Prelude immediately out of DC. This way, at least he gets 2 songs out of the early dip to adult.
Yeah, he did save when he entered DMT here, so he may save scum the chews he's using here to check the trail stuff.
Might have just been for time of day, just to make sure that it doesn't actually turn daytime as well.
Yeah, maybe. I think he made it through there without it going daytime. KillerApp, where are you going?
Ooh. I miss the Goron here in terms of the cycle. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, not quite quick enough to get up there.
It's not too big of a deal though, especially with bomb chews. All you have to do is just run into the Goron when you have the bomb chew out, and it'll just get him every time. That also works.
I do like how there's like 10 different methods of blowing up this one particular Goron. Just a bleepy for trouble though. KillerApp will be able to check what song is on DMC though, which is Way to Hero, so I could see that being something important. CL maybe, Nocturne, something like that. No, Shadows of Stone Dungeon there of course, so we don't know whether we actually need Nocturne or not.
Gonna guess it's probably gonna be ZL here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if that was the case.
Especially with this early the bomb bag and the hookshot being Sphere 0. It's pretty likely, I think.
Having ZL will definitely give KillerApp a bit of a leg up, I think. When it goes back Child Hero, he can clean up a few more checks that Duke's currently skipping out on. Assuming he picks up that bomb bag, which hopefully he will do as soon as he goes back Child.
Ooh, Song of Time, wow.
Oh, okay, that's not what we were expecting. Where the Hero Song of Time?
Maybe we'll see what else is in Crater here.
Yeah, it could be an item or two on the checks in here. KillerApp only on 3 hearts still, so we're going to have to watch his heat timer.
And that pot with a heart in it, it's very, very good to know in this kind of a situation. There's a lot of pots in the game that just have really clutch items on them.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the kind of unsung skills of Randomizer is kind of knowing what pots drop what items. All the pot drops in this game are unrandomized, so like you don't get any RNG with them. If a pot drops bombs, it will always drop bombs, and that's the sort of thing you definitely want to know because you always want more bombs. KillerApp not checking the rest of Crater now, saving on, hanging on to those chews, but didn't find anything on the ledge there, so search continues for whatever way the hero is in DMC, sorry.
Yeah,
there are a couple.
Doesn't know exactly that it's a Crater Way the hero either, so it makes a lot of sense.
That's true, yeah. And yes, there are pots that drop bombs. There's one in Dodongo's Cavern that does so, and I believe there may be 1 or 2 others. Bow there in A Grotto. I'm not actually sure which one KillerApp is in it there.
Lost Woods.
Lost Woods Bombable, that's the one, yeah.
You get the hint out. Ooh. Where is he going? Oh, I think he's going to get the
He's
skull
going-
here because it's still night, yeah.
Smart play.
Yeah, pretty heads up, especially if you know that it's a 50 skull seed. When are you going to come back here to this area?
Yeah, it's an easy one to forget about this skill, but yeah, when you need 50 of them, and KillerApp knows 100% he needs 50 of them, then it definitely makes sense to grab them when you can. There is another one you could grab in Lost Woods as well, for that matter. However, he would have to spend one of his bomb chews to do so, so I don't know whether he'll necessarily want to go for that or not.
I don't think he'll go for it. And there's a lot of other skulls that you can get that are way more on the way, way less risky to just spend a bomb chew on, so... Yeah, the time of day will definitely be working out here for KillerApp. We'll be going child pretty much as soon as juwk goes adult, maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah, they're more or less going to swap places, I imagine.
And I think they're both pretty well aware of what the other player could be doing in the situation. KillerApp probably is like 75-25 that juwk's probably just going to do 3-song. And then juwk also probably has in his mind, well, what if KillerApp actually does go early adult here? And based on the items that he's found and the hints that he's found, it's going to be working out for him anyway. But it's probably in the back of his mind, you know, what kind of early advantage could KillerApp be having in the situation?
Yeah, I suspect for juwk, his mind is probably going to be on songs at the moment. Because he's not really found any useful songs so far, whereas he's thinking, oh, maybe if I'd gone early adult, I could have had ZL, I could have had, you know, Sun Song or something, but all he's gotten so far are a couple of warp songs, so nothing particularly helpful there. He's going to be able to pick up Saria's song, of course, or the song that is in that location.
Yeah, Tipping Goron said he only for Whirling Goron. Probably a pretty conservative consideration here. Just making sure that there's no like super early item there. The bomb bag was pretty early, so makes a lot of sense. KillerApp not going for the setup here to kind of skip past the maze. That's a little surprising to see.
Yeah, I would have thought KillerApp would know the glitcher setup for this, but it seems that is something he's not practiced. So just going the intended route past all the moblins instead. It's kind of easy to forget how long this maze takes if you don't just jump over it.
Another thing to note here about the routes that each player is taking, really important to know the shared locations that you can get as both adult and child can really inform whether or not you're going to be ahead or behind in this kind of a situation.
Independent song from Minuet. And looks like KillerApp's going to dip into Forest Temple.
Yeah, with the big Forest Medallion here, he has to come in here anyway, so...
Yep, and no warp song to come back here quickly, so while he's in the area, I suppose it does make sense just to at least see what he can do. juwk picking up Zelda's Lullaby from Saria.
Ooh. It's a pretty big advantage for juwk here.
Yeah, Child One Route has definitely produced quite a decent number of goods here. The only thing juwk's missed out on so far is that hook shot.
This routing for his adult segment here, at least for the first one, will be a little bit more efficient. Won't have to set aside some checks that KillerApp kind of had to in this early adult. It was the other crater hint. So we've had 2 crater hints and 2 spirit hints. If either of those locations get another hint towards them for Way the Hero, then we'll know that it's double Way the Hero, knowing that there's 2 required items in one of those locations. But for the moment, just 2 apiece, so just one item per area right now.
Interesting to note as well, juwk has not been making use of that bottle he picked up. Skipped over a couple of different soil patches now. He's not been quite as diligent with skulls as KillerApp has been.
Yeah, it doesn't have confirmation just at this point that the boomerang is required.
Yeah, that's gonna cost him a little bit of time later on, I suspect.
Oh wow,
He
KillerApp playing Song of Time. Could just be hitting the switch with bow, and it's a little bit faster, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. You don't normally bother with Song of Time if you got the bow.
It could just be nerves in the situation. They are both in loser's bracket. The loser of this does just go home at this point in the tournament, so might just be catching up to both players here. Looks like juwk is at 6 skulls, and I think KillerApp is around maybe 8.
Yeah, still early days. There's a couple of good skull points in Forest Temple here, so KillerApp will be able to pick up those. Another good reason to dip Forest early, I suppose. And juwk's off to Temple time.
And at least for juwk here, very likely that he just goes to Kakariko and then Graveyard. And Graveyard, he'll see the choose there, so he should know at least that the bow in Lost Woods is probably pretty likely to have already been found by KillerApp, unless KillerApp also did the same 3-song route. It could inform some of his decisions here.
Yeah, I think for juwk at the moment, like his route for the next like 20 minutes or so is basically set. Like he knows he has to go CAC, obviously. He knows he has to go clear out DC. He's going to do DMT and all that stuff as well, so he's also going to get confirmation here that it's a 50 skull seed.
Yeah. He might even just, upon finding that hookshot, just immediately warp to Bolero. You might even see that come out here.
Yes, possibility he could start at the top and work down. Ooh. That seems to be his plan.
Just going straight away just to confirm what the song is there.
Just some time, of course. Yeah, he doesn't actually have the hookshot yet, so he can't get out of here, can he?
Nope. But that could have been any warp song. Might just go to fire right now. Would be a pretty good dip at this point. Especially if there's an item there. And one of the early checks, it's just something you want to be doing on a lot of situations, especially if you already have the warp song to get away. But it does look like you're just going to go back to Temple of Time and go to CAC and Graveyard. Also pretty solid play. Don't want to be losing out on a lot of items there, and very dense location.
Yeah, I think he was probably hoping for a better song for that, as it wasn't really worth going out to Crater just for Song of Time, but There you go. Sometimes the gambles don't pay off. I suppose Song of Time will help him a little bit with Graveyard. That's about it. At least for now. KillerApp back in the market, so he's going to be able to pick up his bomb bag now. Probably not going to be pleased when he realises he could have had it about 20 minutes earlier, but that's the way it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah, KillerApp will definitely be feeling like he's behind here, even though they're pretty much even. Might actually be a little bit behind just because that leads to so many checks and so many doors, potentially for adult. And juwk, I don't think will be feeling behind at all. Like you said, his path is pretty much set for the next like 20, 30 minutes. Probably will even go into Forest Temple just like KillerApp did. Ooh.
Hover boots.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, there's one item. A lot of doors now open for juwk.
Yeah, the hookshot being the real prize, of course, but hover boots definitely a good nice to have. Yeah, neither runner picked up that validation repeat. They weren't quite ready to be validated, it seems.
And nothing gets me going in the morning like invalid runs. Oh.
Are you gonna check on the archery minigame here? Oh, maybe not.
Or not.
Decides to do Angie first. Oh yeah, of course we got a hint for it.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well remembered, chat. That'll be why
Duke
Duke suddenly turned around and was like, oh wait, I don't need to do this.
It's always cool to see runners kind of thinking in real time there.
Yeah, that's the real trick in Randomizer, isn't it? Just being able to reach on the fly all the time.
Yeah, staying flexible in your routing. Maybe not so much in your execution, but routing is definitely, oh man, it's just number one in rando still. Even if your execution is, at 100%, if you mess up your routing and maybe your logic reading, things like that, you're gonna fall behind to somebody that has, overall better routing in terms of getting everything here.
But he's not going to Bolero out because he's already played that once so far. And he still doesn't have the hook. Well, I suppose he's got hover boots now, so he could get out the crater if he wanted to. But that might be that might be what he does after he's done Graveyard.
Would probably be a little bit faster for him to do so, maybe just to confirm what the crater grotto is, and then that way he'll know whether or not he actually needs hammer for the way the hero check there, or whether or not it's Song of Time.
Alright, KillerApp getting over to Lon now. So he'll be able to pick up that bottle and hopefully start making some decent progress with Skullslers.
I think their counts are pretty much even as far as I can tell. They're both are hovering around the 8-10 skull mark here. I think they would both kind of be going a little bit harder on it. If we had confirmation of 30-40, I know that 30 is dead, but if there's an item on 30 or 40, I think they'd just be going all out on skulls here.
Yeah, knowing it's Boomerang, it's a tricky one, really. It's probably not likely that Boomerang is blocking any other items, but there is a possibility.
I think with that in mind, it's pretty safe to just kind of put it off for later, being able to get all your skulls along the way here. Especially if you think it might be in all dungeons, with the Song of Storms being on Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, if you're thinking it's AD, then you're definitely going to be shaping up your route for the long haul on this. So that means you don't really want to have to go out your way for skulls. If you're going to be doing a lot of dungeons anyway, then those are generally the best place to get your skulls for the count up.
First look at the Sun Song check here, be able to see what this is. Oh, it's vanilla.
It's vanilla.
So it leaves us with Ice Cavern, Requiem of Spirit, and the Prelude song checks here. We already had Burning Cack, that is hinted to be Requiem. Looks like KillerApp's waiting on Time of Day. He's gonna get these Lon Night Skulls. At least the one that he can get.
Interesting play to go for.
Yeah. Especially with no real way to get to Graveyard at night, getting the Cack Skulls at night. Could just be walking out of here or playing Serenade to get there.
I
suspect on Dampe.
I suspect he might save warp after this, actually. So he'll be able to get a couple of nighttime skulls in Kokiri Forest Lost Woods.
Yeah, he hasn't done Deku Tree at this point.
Yeah, I need to sort that out as well. But he'll want to do that after getting the skulls, since Deku Tree sets time of day.
I think that was 11.
Frogs 2 is dead, so we know that's not going to be light arrows. Frogs 1, maybe.
Yeah, both the runners here do know that it's a 50 skull seed, and at this point, they've both gone adult, and they've checked the medallions.
Ooh, nice hammer.
Wow.
You also saw a hint there that Goron City is foolish, so Duke's not going to be heading back in there now. Treasure Game is dead.
A hinted way the hero hammer in Crater. That's wow. And KillerApp skipping out on it because he wanted to conserve on shoes here. So I don't think KillerApp's even going to get that for quite a while. Could just be allowing Juke to go to Fire Temple, especially with these hovers early on. Those could just be required logically for Fire Temple if the boss key is at all early or in the first half of the dungeon.
Duke has everything he needs to clear Fire Temple now. It's probably not in logic yet, but something he might consider doing.
Would need the strength in case anything required is past the block push in Fire Temple. We'll be able to check everything anyway, but at least logically, he would need that. Ooh, nice juke out of the the Tektite there from Juke. I'm gonna get these skulls here, especially with the hammer, so pretty nice pickup.
7 skulls for Juwk at the moment, KillerApp on 13.
There's nothing really coming out from either player here that's going to lead to an advantage for Skulls. And I don't think either player is either going to fall behind. I think what could happen is that KillerApp could stay child for quite a while here, especially with the Bugs bottle. All the skulls that Juke just didn't get. But with Juke having the hammer, he'll be able to make headway here on progression dungeons. So I think just doing Dodongos and then going to fire, he'll be up 3 medallions at that point. Really just going to be looking for long shot irons for water. Then past that, 50 skulls. We'll need to find where the letter is, and just needs a strength for Forest Temple, and that's all, you know, pretty much on the table.
Yeah, we do also know that Dodongo's Cavern here is where the hero is, so at least one of those items he's searching for is going to be in here. And we also saw here the Minuet is in Ice Caverns. That's another song sometimes in for us. Dinspire. Uh-oh. That's an uh-oh.
It could just be for Spirit Temple, so no reason to quite freak out yet. No reason to quite freak out yet, but not looking great. Not looking great. Especially with Spirit also being away the hero, I would definitely kind of be side-eyeing that.
Definitely starting to get that whiff of AD, isn't it? Like we know we need to go into Spirit Temple, just found away the hero item for the other Stone Dungeon, and of course Stone Deku is just Stone Deku, so yeah.
Actually, pretty nice that it's a Stone Deku. If it actually is all dungeons, it's much nicer than like water being a Stone Dungeon here. It'd be a little bit more
generally a bit less of a mess in terms of your routing and that sort of thing.
Really depends on where Longshot is here in this kind of a seed, but.
There's another slingshot. First one was in Deku Tree, so that's not where the hero.
Juke on there for the quick little time save, hovering over to the platform. Fortunately, looks like he dropped down there.
Yeah, it's Juke Street that's dropping frames, so there's not really much I can do about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're also on a, 15-minute delay, so really not a whole lot we can do right now. Still will be able to follow most of the action here, though. Ooh. Is that a... Yeah, that was the trick to move during the mouth opening for Dodongos, so... Yeah, if you can be able to get the wrong... You bomb the eye, and it's the wrong eye, but you also bomb the correct eye at the same time, it'll kind of cancel out that animation of the mouth opening for Dodongos, so... Saves, 5, maybe or so seconds, but you can actually be moving while that mouth is opening when you do that. So really cool to see from Juke here.
So while that was going on, KillerApp bailed on Deku Tree, got to the basement and then just left. So he's
Oh, wow.
apparently banking on it not being AD then.
Banking on nothing being on Goma, that's aggressive.
Yeah, big play, especially since he's already already got the slingshots. Yeah, he definitely did bail. He played Serenade to just warp out.
Yeah, definitely that feeling of being behind here. Probably weighing on KillerApp's mind. Might just be going adult here pretty soon, now that he has Bomb Bag, and having done 3 song here. That's actually a really good point. KillerApp not actually finishing out 3 song, so kind of missing the seal from Sarius right now. I
Yeah,
think
that's not the best one to miss out on, is it? Hope he goes back for that soonish.
pretty sure it's just a case of skull routing here, though. He's gonna get the soil skulls here in the lake. Ooh, magic!
It's magic.
Wow.
I didn't see what that was at the bottom of the lake there. I think those arrows.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything. So magic and Oridin's being way the hero in Dodongos.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one for them to worry about, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, neither player here has the Nocturne yet, so really won't be able to even go into Shadow yet. Looks like Juice going after the skulls here a little bit harder now. Having Hookshot and Sun Song, it's pretty easy to get a lot of these that are pretty much already on the way. And kind of how I thought. Looks like it's just going to go straight to fire. Get those progression dungeons in.
Yeah, makes sense.
KillerApp going a little bit prioritizing the overworld checks here. Might be wasting time, unfortunately, but is keeping up on the skull count, so... Ooh, gonna go to Valley. Wow. Over Remote Grotto.
Yeah, Remote Grotto we can do as adult, I suppose.
Yeah.
Whereas these checks we can aim, well, we can do the other checks in Valley as child, as adult, sorry, but generally bad to do them as child era.
Yeah, and this is a good example of a situation where you can actually metagame your opponent coming in from KillerApp's side. Probably knowing that he hasn't gone Valley or probably won't be going Valley anytime soon. Also 13 skulls here for Juwk. So pretty effective play. It doesn't really cost you a whole lot, maybe a minute of travel time. So it's a little bit risky, only for 2 checks. But you do get another hint here as well. I'd imagine that KillerApp's just going to be save warping to Saria's right after he checks Valley. Also, of note here, can get the Skull in Valley, so I think it's
That's true.
slightly better in this situation than if it wasn't like a 50 Skull seed.
Yeah, more skulls is always good at this stage. Lens of Truth from the Flame Dancers.
A lens is one of those weird items where another DC there.
Oh, nice. Not such a useful hint then, unfortunately. At least he gets his Sculptor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did get a hint for treasure games, so the lens is not required for that. We do know Requiem's on Burning Cack, so it's possible lens is logically required to get to Way the Hero Spirit, but we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, would either need to find his strength here for Forest Medallion. It could be Epona's on Prelude. Also, could be Letter Locked at Ice Cavern, or it could just be at, Spirit Temple. In which case, Fire and Forest are both required. So this strength might be in a pretty accessible location. It could be something like 20 skulls. Be kind of really funny, actually, but. Yeah, this strength. It might be a little bit elusive to both of the runners here. I think they both really are kind of looking for it too.
Yeah, strength would open up. Well, it would open up in Logic all the Fire Temple. It would also open up Forest Temple, so we could clear that. Get our Forest Medallion and Prelude check and all of that. So it would be really helpful right about now, but not showing up yet. I reckon it's going to be on horseback archery. I think with the items we've gotten so far, early GTG and Gerudo Fortress might be in the mix. So Duke's on, what is he on, 6 hearts? And he's got a bottle, so he's got enough health, I believe, to deal with Volvagia. He shouldn't have any trouble.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
yes,
he'll be wasting... Oh yeah.
He does also have bomb shoes, so he could use those if he wanted.
I'm pretty sure he won't be doing that. It's just, you really want to be holding the shoes on the off chance that you actually want to be using them for like a trick or, Child Spirit, something like that. He already has Slingshot, so it's a little bit less likely, but...
I mean, it's certainly worth keeping a handful of shoes. You don't want to run out, but I generally find that it's worth spending them on Volvagia because it does speed up that fight a lot. And once you have Bomb Bag, the usefulness of Choose is really just speeding up the rest of the seeds. So, yeah, I think it makes sense to use it on the fight. But again, it's like, only as long as you can spare a couple afterwards, because otherwise, as you say, you might end up losing out on certain tricks.
Yeah, especially with not having Bigger on Sword here. Might actually be more likely that he'll do that, but I think he can have about the same amount of time save using Choose in different situations, like maybe like in Water Temple or just on the various checks where you actually do need bombs or explosives of some sort. Just using Choose over bombs in a lot of the situations will come up with about the same time save and be a little bit less risky. You might miss up on the timing for Volv. If you go a little bit too fast, you can just make it progress a little bit further than what you want as well. So kind of have to weigh your options here. I think it's a little bit safer to at least just use on the different checks. Ooh, getting the DK here.
Only one check left here now before the next locked door. Actually, no, sorry, there's 2 checks. Not key locked yet, but we'll see how this goes. Yeah, KillerApp did fail the memory game there on his first attempt. Nerves may be getting to him a little bit.
Yeah, juke up to 15 skulls here as well. We'll get a quick count here from Killer App side as well. Looks like he already has 20 though.
Yeah, I think he's on early 20s at the moment. There or thereabouts. Looks like Duke's going to continue climbing Fire Temple. 21 skulls for Killer App.
All right. Yeah, the skulls that he's ahead on too, though, important to note, will be losing a little bit of that time just to progression dungeons that he hasn't done yet. And that strength is required to get to the boss, at least on Fire Temple here. Getting a wallet on the map chest is pretty interesting.
Yeah, so that wallet's not in logic to get Goron Tunic, because the game expects you to have Goron Tunic before you get to map chest.
Mm-hmm.
So that wallet's probably not logically required for anything. It could be for Zora Tunic, but more likely it's just a dead-end item. And no more keys, so Duke has to clear Volvagia now.
And if Killer App wasn't feeling behind before, he's really be feeling behind right now, finding
Yeah.
TL on Sarius.
He definitely could have had that earlier.
Yeah, way earlier, 30 minutes ago. Yeah, there was nothing in Deku Tree except for a slingshot. Using the choose here, it's gonna get it, no problem. Very, very nice execution coming in from Juke's side here.
I believe he did use one extra there, but other than that, that was pretty much perfect.
Oh yeah. Just throwing Fire Temple on the dumpster here. Killer App will be seeing a little bit more in Goron City here than Juke. Probably doesn't know that it's foolish, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, I guess he hasn't picked up that hint yet. So,
I think that hint was at the Crater Grotto, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
the one with hammer in it that he also didn't get.
Yeah, the one that he skipped out on for the chew count. You really hate to see it too, because it's a really, at least from his perspective, it's a nice play. But
Yeah, if he'd gotten that hammer, things would have been a bit different, I think, because that would have opened up a lot for him to do as adults. He has unfortunately missed out on that, having already missed out on Bomb Bag as well. Not sure what that Song play was about. I suppose he's Duke's maybe going for Forest Skulls next.
yeah, probably.
Well, that kind of looked like it was a bigger bomb bag on the crater there, on the volcano.
Does have the one chew left, so it could just be routing in that Lostwood skull as well as the SFM one. Ooh. Very cool setup to get that skull.
Looks like Duke's getting his Forest area Skelter's out of the way now.
Yeah, I'm not really losing any time here. KillerApp did get this a lot earlier with the adult dip in the early hook shot, but at least that one's not really going to be paying out here in this seed. Juke's going to be catching up in skull count really quickly here, so being 2 progression dungeons ahead and even on skull count, you have to wonder what is KillerApp even looking for in this kind of situation versus just going to his progression dungeons.
Yeah, KillerApp knows Dodongo's Cavern is where the hero, and he's not been in there. Or, well, he's not finished it yet. It's not good, really. Like, you know you got progression dungeons, and you got Way of the Hero dungeons. So, go and fucking do them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty much of the same mindset, at least at this point, so kind of see what he does in like the next 5-10 minutes. Could just be a case of wanting to get these night cack skulls, so I don't think he's even gotten those yet.
No, I don't think either run has done Nighttime Cack yet. Well, Nighttime Child Era Cack, I should say.
Yeah, I did mention this earlier, but it's a lot more likely that he's just actively routing in a very long child. In case there's an item there, we'll be getting all these skulls along the way, so it's not too bad, all things considered. Just not, progression dungeon related.
Yeah, you didn't set Sunsong there, so apparently not interested in doing Nighttime Cack.
Oh,
It's a bit peculiar. Oh, he doesn't have Sunsong. No, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, because it's vanilla. He will be getting it probably here,
Yeah.
so it will be kind of working out for him, but I'd even be doing chickens here. Would not be too surprised. Ooh, getting more drop juice on 20 skulls. Looks like he's just skipping it. Chicken's definitely one of those checks that is very, I think, still controversial at this point in terms of how do you kind of weigh that as a check in the game.
Yeah, I think with a seed like this, where you got, it's quite open, you got a lot of choices. I don't see chickens being high up on the agenda at the moment.
24 for KillerApp.
Yeah, Duke just picked up his 20th skull here in Forest Temple. We'll be able to pick up a couple more as well, of course, as he goes through Courtyard area.
Yeah, we'll be able to get 2 more here immediately, up to 22. At that point, he doesn't really have a ton of locations open to him at this point.
Yeah, there's G2G, I suppose.
Bonus.
Sorry?
With that opponents, yeah, that's a good option.
I think that's probably like the biggest area open. It would also be possible to cross the wasteland at this point and get the Song from Requiem location. If that is Nocturne out there, then that's also going to give us access to Shadow Temple. Spirit Soul Medallion dungeon, however, it is a Way of the Hero dungeon. Got a required item in there, so Spirit is needed, Medallion or not.
It's always kind of cool seeing this routing and coming in for Forest Temple as well. Being able to enter the courtyard from the either like a recoil or using hover boots from the 4-master chest.
Yeah, it's a good route to do this when you're kind of doing the courtyard dip. Just gives you a nice, quick linear progression through here. Saves a decent amount of time.
And it makes you +1 check just for the 4-master chest as well. If you get an early key on like the first 1 or 2 checks in Forest Temple, it's a really good thing to go for.
Yeah, thanks towards that logic, we did already see where Inspire was there, and we got magic, so that check in Composer Grave is in logic, it's just KillerApp doesn't have the equipment for it yet.
KillerApp will be getting up to 30 skulls here, I think.
Yeah, making decent progress. That boomerang itself is not going to be particularly useful until we find Muto's Lesser, though.
And we know it's not 1020. It's not 30 that was hinted dead. I don't think we've gotten a 40 hint yet.
Don't believe so.
Very possible that 40 could just be letter. That'd be something.
Yeah. That'd be fun. Suppose at least that means I won't have to go hunting for it, but
Right.
Duke heading back
on...
to Childs.
Wow. Was not expecting that.
Yeah, I would have thought Gerudo would be his next stop, but I guess not. I guess he's going to start clearing out some overworld stuff.
Yeah, so KillerApp might not be falling behind here. Kind of thankfully for him. Really depends on where Juke goes and how long Juke stays child here. Without scale, it's going to be really... There could be something in Domain, even at this point, or River. We haven't seen River yet. Speaking of that, it looks like KillerApp is just going to go River.
Well, not from the lake he's not. There's no way through for him from there. We'll be able to do fishing, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. KillerApp missing the Red Ed Grotto. Oh, it's so unfortunate for him. Ooh, Juke also going River pretty much at the same time. Wow.
There's the 30 skulls for KillerApp.
You know, wasn't expecting Juke to go child. Definitely wasn't expecting for both runners to kind of sync up in River at this point. Juke quite a bit ahead in terms of progression and items. Really just behind on skulls, but not even by that much. He hasn't done child cack yet, so those are pretty much free. Juke getting a nice jump there. It's also a really easy jump to get. Don't see a ton of players really go for it, though. Not really sure why. There's the other hint for Minuet at Ice.
Yeah, I think we've got one sometimes hint left to find now.
No, I think we have all of them. It was Requiem and Menuet hinted, Daruni is dead, Adult Shooting is dead, and Treasure Chest Game is also dead. So it looks like we just are missing 40, we're missing the third Foolish, and then I guess Two-Way the Hero, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, the way the hero hints are the big ones at the moment. Although the finish hints could tell us something useful as well, I guess. KillerApp deciding to pick up some health here. Playing it safe.
I was about to say, if he's going to warp away, that's just a next level aggressive play. Not even checking the hint, not even going domain. But it's just for some song.
Yeah, he's keeping his skull count up. Juwk doing the same thing as well.
Ooh, SFM.
SFM is Way the Hero.
It's actually kind of a bad one, all things considered. It's probably just for ZL on Saria's song, but also kind of maybe pointing to Pona. Might nudge the players here in the direction of Fortress.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, the Dodonga's Cavern could be for Din's or Magic Way the Hero. Could be for both. Don't know at this point. Won't be able to find out for a while either. Oftentimes it goes like that for rando seeds. You just, if you find like 5 items in one location and happens to be Way the Hero, and then it's not double Way the Hero, then it's kind of really hard sometimes. Ooh, the other SFM and domain, so...
You wait ages for a Way the Hero hint and then both come along at once.
Juwk going for the flame storage on the torch for the torch run after doing the diving game, whereas KillerApp is going diving game and then going to go back to do the torch run. So quick little time save here for Juwk.
Yeah, this route saves like a good 15 or so seconds, I want to say. You essentially just kind of abuse the fact that the timer for this diving game is actually very long.
Not even going for the flame storage. He's just going all out here.
He's going for it, yeah. It did look like he got a free dive pattern down there, so he's got plenty of time to do the mini game as well.
Yeah, he has plenty of time here. It looked like a really good 3 dive pattern from what I saw.
I think that might be a 4 actually.
Ooh, yeah, actually.
No, he might be okay. Oh, there's the other magic. Hello.
So it will be for Dens, it looks like. Because Bombs locks both the DC magic as well as this magic. And ZL was already Way the Hero. So I don't think it can be pointing to either magic here. So that is that Den's Way the Hero.
So that means, that means we haven't actually confirmed that it's all dungeon seed, but we do know now that, or we're now pretty sure that all our dungeons are going to be required. It's possible that Din's Way the Hero could be for Wasteland, but or maybe Adult Spirit, but it's probably more than likely it's going to be for Shadow.
Ooh, Juwk going for that. Oh, I thought for maybe for many who's going for the backlink hints.
Seems not.
It's like just for child fishing though, setting up scarecrows and then probably getting the soil skull. And then probably gonna go back adult. Can't really see him stick around for child for too much longer. Looks like KillerApp is finally gonna go to Deku Tree.
Oh yeah, I forgot he still hasn't done that.
Yeah. Sometimes you do Deku first, sometimes you even skip it, and it's a whole spectrum, really.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, Killer App knows it's a stone dungeon, so I guess he's reasonably justified in putting it off here, but...
I guess no. He already did go Deku, actually. Yeah, he did bail on basement.
Oh, that was right. Yeah, I remember.
On Goma, so it
Yeah.
was still later in the seed, but finally gonna. I don't know. I don't know where he's gonna go at this point because he's already done Child Garden City. He's already done Saria's, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure what he's even playing toward right now.
I have no idea. He's already done...
Is he planning the bean?
Seems so. This is a very out of the way thing to go for.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, that bean only unlocks one skull, and you don't even need to plant the bean to get it. You can just use the hookshot on the bomb tree.
And he even got more bomb trees than 20 skulls, so that's very surprising to see. Juwk going for this nice time. Wow, just getting it right there and getting the nice recoil, even getting broken stick. Oh, for the skull. Wow.
That's why Juwk gets paid the big bucks. Or he would do if we had any money on the line. Gonna be doing some Hyrule Field stuff as well, by the look of it.
Like it's not even a big deal to save that one stick here, but it's just cool to see.
Both runners have got tons of sticks at the moment, so they're not going to be worried about wasting one here and there. So one stick for 2 skulls is a pretty good deal, to be honest. I wouldn't even call that a waste.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, KillerApp finally going to go back adult here after doing the early adult dip.
Yeah, hopefully KillerApp gets on with some progression dungeons now, because he's definitely behind on that front.
Playing Serenade, wow. Maybe doing Adult Lake?
Yeah, probably wants to get Scarecrow's song before he goes into Fire Temple.
Yeah, that's fair. Ooh.
Water Temple is a foolish choice.
Pretty nice hint.
Yeah, means we can pretty much just go mode water as soon as we get access to that place.
And at this point, I think Letter is pretty likely to be in Fortress or GTG. It's either that or the Strength or...
Yeah, there's going to be something over there, I'm pretty sure, at this stage. I could definitely see Strength being on the Horseback Archery or something like that. Or early GTG.
Yeah, because even though ZL was at SFM and that is Way the Hero that we know of, opponents could also just happen to also be Way the Hero. So it's definitely dangerous. Again, kind of coming back to what I said earlier, if you find multiple items in one Way the Hero location, it gets a lot harder to know exactly which item is being hinted at, or it could even be Way the Hero in the seed.
Yeah, you do kind of have to hedge your bets a little bit when you get a situation like that. And just, yeah, always bear in mind that if you're going to be following your Way the Hero, you know, make sure you don't completely orphan off the wrong Way the Hero. Alright, adult fishing time. Yeah, if Letter turns up, then 50 Skulls is going to become a lot more urgent for whichever runner finds it. Because you never know, Jabby might lock an item. Or Ice
Yeah.
Cavern could, or Zora's Fountain.
Hmm. Yeah, all of Killer App's decisions kind of keep leading him to feeling like he's behind, which makes him be going to all these different kind of places. So he went to Valley early because I think he felt behind, maybe metagaming Juke. Going early Adult Lake, even before his progression dungeons, definitely a metagame call.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he's not done Dodongo still. Like, he
And,
knows it's way to hero, he knows there's a progression item there.
mhm.
Just get it done. Well, he's just farming up with some bombs here. Well, they're not having much luck with drops, unfortunately. Duke heading back to the castle. Oh no, he's going to go do nighttime cack.
Yep.
Has he got enough time here with Danpei digging? I think he's going to cut it a bit close, actually.
Should have it.
That 20 seconds or so you've got from the nightfall to the last moment before Danpei goes to bed.
Ooh.
But there's the strength.
Wow.
Nice.
They're paying off a little bit. Yeah, definitely at this point, it's going to go straight to DC. You know, as much as you can metagame and do all these different locations, grind up your skulls, progression's still number one here, and it's
Absolutely,
going to
yeah.
lead to, you know, getting ahead in a large variety of situations, especially if there's like an item in there. And knowing that it's Way of the Hero too, it's still so strange to me that he hasn't gone there, but I mean, he does know that he has a little bit of time. It is a 1v1, so could be kind of weighing that as an option. And also knowing that it's going to be a kind of a maybe longer seed with 50 skulls, but it's kind of a risky line to take. Even then, a lot of 50 skull seeds actually aren't even that long. But if he's maybe thinking that it's getting like Goron City, Baron hit, if he's thinking that it's kind of a long all dungeon seed, then it could also be kind of making them do this. But even then, like an all dungeon 50 skull seed, it could be sub 3 hour nowadays. Especially in
Yeah,
tournament
just about
setting.
depends if it's got like a nice route where you don't have to backtrack or double dip stuff too much, then yeah, generally can clean out without too much trouble. And this is kind of feeling like a seed that's probably not going to have many double dips in it. Like we've gotten fair amount of our items already from the overworld, so I mean yeah, we can have that double dip of forest of course, but apart from that, it's looking all right really.
Mm-hmm.
KillerApp does get his hammer now, so that is Fire Temple open to him fully. So we can go clear out that out soon, as well as the Dongos.
Juke will be at 33 skulls here. Killer App at 34, so they're both pretty even on skull count. Ooh, 35 for Juke, okay.
You're getting there. We've also got Hint at the top of Graveyard, Hint at Desert Colossus, possibly one or two others. We haven't seen Metagore on Hint. So there's a fair few stones we've not uncovered yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lens of
Juke
Truth
has...
was in Fire Temple. Does put Crossing the Wasteland into logic, so whatever song is out there is available for us in Logic and could open up Shadow Temple, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be Saria's to open up Forest Temple.
Is juwk for chickens here?
Ooh, seems
Oh,
so.
he is. Wow. All right.
We'll see where this play leads, I guess. Could be something important, could be a fat load of nothing, so a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah, might think that he missed out on the strength, maybe on chickens. So
Yeah, he's definitely going to be worrying about that strength now, because it's been nearly an hour and a half and he's still not found it.
and he technically should, based on the logic. So
Yeah.
knowing that he needs both the strengths anyway, the other strength could just be strength locked in like Forest Temple, for example.
Yeah. Strength could be over in the desert somewhere. It is always possible the strength is here on chickens and Duke is making the right play here. It's always a crapshoot with chickens, you never know what you're going to find, really. Well, unless you get sometimes in for it, but we're not getting that today. So we had Magic on King Dodongos, and the other one was Zora Diving Game. Both of them accessible with the bomb bag, which we got into 0, so neither of them are Way the Hero.
Yeah, shoutouts to chat for being so quick on the the response to questions here. You guys all are rock stars.
Well, Angie's got some love for us, but nothing else other than that, so that's a couple of minutes down the drain for Duke, unfortunately. Now heading for Adult Era. So I think this is the point where Duke makes that play for Gerudo, maybe doing Lake as well before he heads out there.
Ooh, gonna go Adult Lake.
Make him start with Lake, this makes sense. You do Lake and clear up Hyrule Field Grottos and then from there head to Gerudo. Nice bish bash bosh route sort of thing. Trueness is rounding up the Majora's Mask players now. Death Mountain Trail, that's our last Way the Hero hint. Oh boy. Well, we got Hookshot there, but there is also a Song of Storms grotto there. And I believe that's everything, so 50-50 chance. Oh boy. I suppose it could well be for the hook shot, but it could also be pointing to that Storm's Grotto, potentially.
It was a pretty
Remember, we still
Oh, sorry.
don't have light arrows. We don't know where those are going to turn up. Oh no! Killer App falling down. So at least he opened. At least he opened the shortcut. At least, but that's unfortunate.
I was about to say, you got a really swag like grab on the platform, like as he was rising up, and then you just get swatted down to the eye.
You already did bridge chest, I guess.
I think so. I don't think there's anything in it anyway, but I'm pretty sure he got that. He was gonna get the setup of grabbing the ledge there, and then if you hold the bomb, you kind of grab the ledge, and it just will just drop the bomb there onto the eye. So it's good to know that for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the fastest method of dealing with that rim, but it's a nice little backup strat you can use if things start to get a bit hairy in there.
Yeah, not everyone knows the setup for the cool moving during the animation thing, so
I'm also a little bit concerned I'm just going to get drafted in to play Majora's Mask Rando at some point in the next 5 minutes. Duke finding his strength upgrade, so now he's maybe having a bit of a force as to where he should go next. So I imagine he was probably thinking he'd go to GTG after this, but now he's got that strength. He's thinking, "Ooh, should I go to Forest Temple now?" And then he's thinking, I don't have minuets, and it's not in logic. So he's thinking, ooh, maybe I should go to Spirit and grab the song from there. But no, it looks like he is opting for Forest Temple first.
I'm just gonna do it anyway. You might as well, even if it is out of logic.
Yeah, it's pretty likely, I think, that Requiem is going to have Sari as an output, put it into logic. That seems like the most likely outcome of this to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it can't even be on Prelude from being Forest Temple, because it'd be your only access to it, unless Letter's somewhere like 40 skulls.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, yeah, I think that means Requiem has to have Saria's song. Because those are the only two song locations that we've got unaccounted for at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Nocturne will have to be on Prelude and Saria's Desert.
There aren't even that many skulls that are in great locations for him to even check 40 right now. He'd be wasting up to 5 minutes potentially. So I think it's a good decision to just come here anyway.
Yeah, better to get the skulls in dungeons if you can.
Right.
Especially progression dungeons.
And it's only one more that he can get even here, but it does add up at the same time. And again, you want to be doing your progression dungeons as soon as possible, even if they're out of logic. As long as you can complete the whole thing, you might as well.
Definitely, yeah. That's the thing that KillerApp definitely needs to focus on right now. He's got to get Fire Temple done, he's got to get Forest Temple done. Also, finally buying a shield, hour and a half in, GG's. We already got a hint for Burning Cat that it has Requiem, so that means Nocturne has to be on Prelude, I believe.
Ooh, KillerApp getting those hovers quite delayed.
Yeah, not the biggest problem in the world, really. Those hovers don't really unlock much at this point, so
Well, make him maybe
not a big deal.
Fire, so knows he can do it. Definitely in logic now.
Yeah, 100%. He has everything he could possibly need for Fire Temple. Except, I suppose, technically Goron Tunic, but nobody really cares about that.
Yeah, I got plenty of health, so it doesn't really matter, not for these players especially.
Who knows what 40's gonna be? I mean, 40 could be Goron Tunic, I suppose. Maybe that's what he expected us to do.
That would be something.
KillerApp, you got a shield, mate. Just put it on.
Just skip the like, just kill the skull and get out of there. Alright, up to 40 for KillerApp. I think Juke's at least a couple off of 40. I think he's at like 36 to 38 range, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So regards to what's being said in chat, 40 being on last logical location means we would have to rule out going to Epona. Yeah, I suppose that does make sense. Yeah, because Epona was on Minuet location, and that's not in logic to get there at the moment.
Yeah, that's why they were saying like Long Shot or Letter is pretty likely to be on 40 skulls. Just as a way to get to Fire Temple, or Forest Temple rather.
Yeah, Long Shot would open up the desert and therefore give us the song we need to get to Forest. And there is also more of Fire Temple still to do, though. I believe that's in logic.
Yeah.
So it could be Deeper Fire Temple as where the next progression item is.
Yeah, I think it was, what, 3... Not even keys that they found. No, it was 3, it was 3. It was,
Yeah, so I got to Map Chest and then there was stuck after that, so that would be...
4.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
it's 4. Yeah, that's 4 keys.
So they have
4
keys remaining. Yeah, and then remaining checks I want to say is like
Top of Maze, Shortcut Chest, Pierre Chest, Compass, Highest Goron, Hammer, 6 checks.
Okay,
So 2 more items.
Entirely likely that there's something there, but
well, that's 50% more than the 1 check in Skullsula House.
Twice as good. Forehead.
Slingshot is in logic, we got that in almost vanilla. There's a side chest and slingshot room. So Gomer is in logic. Duke of course did finish Deku already, but KillerApp bailed after doing basement, so he has orphaned the Gomer check. Wasn't anything important though, I think it was money or something like that, so not really a big deal for now, unless this turns out to be an all dungeon seed, which is still a possibility.
Yeah, very much so, especially with that many items really that they found. They still need quite a bit more to even complete the seed.
Yeah, we still need to find another strength, a mirror shield, the Ruta's Lesser, and light arrows, of course.
Yeah, 4 items remaining.
Oh, and iron boots.
A second. Oh, did you say second strength already?
I believe I did, yeah.
Yeah, 5.
Hold on. Long shot, second strength, light arrows, iron boots, mirror shield, Ruta's Lesser. That's 6 items.
Oof.
Well, actually,
Getting...
we might not need mirror shield.
Maybe not.
We probably need strength too, though.
Yeah, we'll be seeing juwk getting Requiem from Burning Keck, so that's probably why he didn't go Fortress to begin with. Got that pretty early on. Can just reverse.
Yeah, juwk had to think about it for a moment when he got that strength. It was like, what do I do next? But yeah, this does make sense to make this play rather than going to the desert, so you can route things a lot faster.
Yeah. On top of it being progression too. KillerApp might not even be that far behind. Really doesn't have that much really left either. So it's going to push it into the direction of Forest Temple, even if it is not logically in.
Yeah, KillerApp's definitely going to want to get that progression dungeon done, I hope. He's been a bit lax on progression dungeons throughout the seed, but hopefully he starts prioritising them a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Juwk has 36 skills now, yeah, so that's all of them in Forest Temple that he's got now. I believe he already did Kokiri Forest Skulls, so no more skulls in this area for him. He'll pick up Burning Cack. After this, most likely head for deserts. You can pick up a couple of skulls on route through to Gerudo Fortress. That'll be enough to get him up to 40 at least. KillerApp picking up the wallet. And a lot of Orvagia. Juwk having a little bit of trouble with fence again here. They have to deal with the tennis phase, unfortunately. It wasn't too terrible though. At least he didn't get to the rainbow darty phase. Ooh, fire arrows. Nice to have.
Yeah, Yeah, it doesn't really open a whole lot, if anything. That
Yeah, they open up a sweet bucket load of shit all. Since we've already got Din's Fire. Completely useless in logic, but might be convenient. We already knew Din's Fire was Way of the Hero. Although, yeah, I suppose that means it can't be Way of the Hero for a check.
Juwk
Yeah.
back child.
No,
no.
Picking up
Right.
Nocturne.
Yeah. Yep. I was about to lose my mind. Okay. This all makes sense. Very rational and reasonable.
Relatively reasonable.
Another frog stew hint. Nice.
Yeah. I was going to say, I wouldn't have thought Shadow would be the best play right now. Yeah, it doesn't look like Duke's going for that. He's going to check what's on 40 skulls and see what the logic of the seed is going to tell him. I'll also pick up Burning Cat here, which is of course Requiem.
And KillerApp definitely having a lot slower Volvagia than Juwk.
Oh, Duke's not checking 40 skulls. Okay. Just going to go straight for the desert, apparently.
And
Actually, he doesn't. Duke doesn't have.
40,
yeah, he doesn't have 40. Yeah, that's why. He's still a couple off, so I guess he's gonna go do Reverse Wasteland and Gerudo Fortress, get some skulls there.
And you got the Colossus skulls too here. 2 here,
Yeah.
1 Wasteland, 2 in Fortress, and you'll be at like 44 or something like that. 42.
Yeah, it's a good number of them in this area of the overworld, so nice way to clean up on skulls.
Sorry, is that we kind of deduced already, but
yeah, we got pretty much full. I think we got full knowledge of the songs at this point. Yeah, Ponies is not in logic. The logic of the seed is a bit hecked at this point, but 40 skulls, I think we've deduced, has to have an item of some importance, although not necessarily something that's logic. Well, not necessarily something that's like hard required. It might be something you can skip over, like long shot, at least for now.
yeah, even if it is long shot or ladder here, it's better just to skip over it and then only go there once you have 50.
Yeah,
KillerApp
didn't pick up the key, so
it's gonna die if he picked it up, I think.
he had a fairy. Yeah.
Did he have another one? Because he already used it.
Oh, did he? Yeah, that's probably why then. He's going to have to bank on not needing to come back into Fire Temple, though.
Man, that is dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
Yeah, well, he can always go back for that key if he absolutely has to, but it will be a bit of a time loss doing that.
Yeah, and already skipping out on Goma itself, so if it's AD, if there's an item deeper in fire here, KillerApp's just going to be super far behind.
Yeah, it's taking a bit of a gamble, but in fairness, they're relatively safe gambles, those two. So the chances of an item being deep in Fire Temple are not particularly high. And neither is a chance of Goma having an item, so...
It's true.
It's a risk, but it's a calculated risk, I guess.
Yeah, he's definitely playing more risky than not, but all of these things do make sense for what he's been doing. Okay, Juwk now going Child again.
Probably Child's Spirit next, I guess.
Yeah. Can't get there in his adult, so might as well.
Spirit, of course, is Way of the Hero.
You can finish getting to 40 in Child Spirit because of the 2 skulls that you can easily grab there, so...
Yeah.
Because he's at 38 right now. And then from there, you can just go check 40. And if it's letter, you go turn that in. So I don't think he can even get to 50 without Ice Cavern, maybe, at this point. I guess he could, but it'd be really inefficient.
Yeah, no, I think he could get to 50.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's enough overworld skulls left over.
KillerApp using that bean that he planted. Nice room for juke.
Putting those bombs to good use there.
Yeah, just 2 bombs and kills everything. Very cool. Passing. Oh, yeah, I was about to say, maybe passing up on the free bomb refill from the Armos. But grabbing that. There's one dead check. If this isn't a key, that'd be so brutal.
That would be a nuisance, yeah. Although we have juwk already has Din, so he's probably not going to be too worried about that. It is a key though.
Nice.
In juwk's position, I don't know whether he would want to do the rest of Child Spirit here or not. I suppose it does make sense to, because we haven't got Strength 2 yet. So yeah, we probably want to try and clear this out. Yeah, we'll probably be seeing 4C in like a few minutes, I imagine. Juwk will probably check it once he's done Child Spirit. KillerApp will check it after Forest Temple. Well, maybe check it out Forest Temple. KillerApp might hold on because he's probably able to get to 50 at this point. There is 40 skills for juwk.
I mean, it's the BK.
Yay, that's what we want. Mirror shield. Oh shit. Oh dear. So that's the second stone dodger item we found on the way of the hero location.
I hope that's the only thing he finds. Oh, this is good. This is getting good.
This is a toasty seed, alright. Looking likely that something's going to be behind some of the storms. It's not confirmed yet, but it just seems ever more likely as things go on here.
Yeah, it's just getting increasingly worse.
If we find like vanilla strength 2 or something like that, then we pretty much just confirmed it.
Yeah, and getting that key in the map chest could just be what Denz is pointing to.
That's true, yeah, because of spirit key logic. Well, actually, no, because we're here as child, so. And we can't.
Yeah, we don't...
I don't know. I know the key logic's a bit weird in spirit because it doesn't take into account the fact that you may be locked out of adult side. So it assumes you have to be able to get to adult side even if you don't have strength 2 in logic yet.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not...
So yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Another firelock key. Yeah, I think if it's vanilla silvers, I think we have to assume it's all dungeons, but let's see what the chest has got for us. Heartbeats,
Nothing.
okay. I've had vanilla silvers once in this game, and it wasn't when playing vanilla. I've had it once in a rando. It was a pretty horrendous seed overall.
Yeah. Already in the tournament, there was a match that had vanilla mirror shield, which is pretty cool to see. Forget exactly which one it was.
Well, Cub's long shot could be on 40 skulls, so that would put it into logic. At least I think it would.
That was a really long pause on the one note. very much Juke's brain is going at like 90 miles per hour right now, just trying to think of where everything logically could be. And I think he's come to the conclusion that he has to check 40 before doing anything else.
Yeah, I think he's worked that out by this point, but yeah, this seed has been a mindfuck for sure.
Let's see what it is. Come on, seed.
Long
Hey,
shots.
there's a long shot. Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, that's Grudo Training Grounds into logic now. You're gonna head for Shadow Temple next, though.
Yeah, it's a really good location. Pretty dense overall, and
Yep, and Din's is way the hero, so
yep, it's pretty much confirmed at this point. Something has to at least, one thing has to be in shadow. It could just be for light arrows, though, in which case,
it's a bit of a nook, yeah. On the other hand, if you gotta get it done, then might as well, I guess.
Can also get skulls in here too, so could just be committing to just doing all of shadow. If he thinks it's an all dungeon seed, he's just gonna commit to shadow anyway. So I think he's gonna full clear it. It's pretty likely. You lose a lot of time if you just kind of waffle between your plays here, and I think committing to a play like this is just going to be way stronger, save you more time overall, than like kind of choosing between different plays, maybe changing your mind. It's something just in 1v1s in general that you kind of want to be doing, and just committing to things.
I think the only thing that might maybe make Duke change his mind is if Rujo's letter is in here. He might change tack if he finds that, but other than that, I suspect we're going to see a full clear.
At that point, it'd only be missing a way to get into water, and then can finally get to lighter. And being only just under 2 hours here, Juke probably would be feeling pretty far ahead if he found letter in here, I think.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, we just need light arrows and iron boots, so yeah, it's starting to come together. Yeah, we've not found either of our scales so far.
And Juke's execution has been very, very nice in the whole scene. It's really cool to watch. Score on Tunic.
Oh, nice. Oh boy, is Din's gonna be wearing a hero just for fucking gore on Tunic?
For the
boy.
one of the two things that could be in fire. Because it's what led to the wallet in Fire Temple even, so that was
Yeah.
technically wallet or locked by Tunic. But again, he's gonna be full clearing this anyway, so unless he does find that letter, like you were saying.
Yeah, I think
Even then,
anything else he probably just plow through. Like if it's Iron Boots or Strength 2 or something like that, it's probably not going to be enough for him to turn his head. But Lesser might.
Even then, I think still just committing to the Shadow Temple. If that's the kind of the play that you're kind of aiming for and to begin with, I think it's just better to just complete it. You would have already had to find letter for it to even be a time save, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Strength 2... I suppose we have to assume that Strength 2 probably is still required, because the item we found in Spirit Temple was Mirror Shield. Mirror Shield is where the hero, then obviously we do also need Strength 2. We cleared out all the chance side, which yeah means either we have to clear Spirit Temple or there is at least one more item in it, or both. And don't forget your skulls, Duke.
It'd be really cool if you just skipped that one in particular. It's you know, I know I need 50 skulls, but you know, fuck this one.
50 skulls is the boomerang. Hard to acquire 50 skulls seed we've got on our hands today. And possibly in all dungeons to boot as well. We haven't really confirmed it yet, but Duke has already gone inside every single stone dungeon. Oopsie. This time the backflip there, never mind.
Hey,
Strength 2.
Ooh. Oh?
He was thinking about it. Tempted, but carrying on for the moment.
Hey, you're already pretty much at the halfway point in Shadow, maybe a little bit past even. Okay, could be opening the shortcut to bail.
Could bail out a shortcut, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, if he got that far, he might as well finish, but we'll see.
Then all you would need to do is just complete Spirit Temple, and that's way the hero anyway, so... But it does take time, and if he thinks KillerApp is like right behind him, because he doesn't know where KillerApp is. KillerApp could be ahead of him for all he knows, but so I think it's a tough call to make.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, juwk has a relatively strong lead at this point. KillerApp just unfortunately didn't really prioritize the progression dungeons as much as you should have in the early stages of the seed. So yeah, that's cost him some time here.
Yeah, it had a lot of overworld skull routing. I think it just really showcases why you want to be holding off on grinding up to 50, especially if it's just something like boomerang. You still need another item even for it to even be useful. It only opens one dungeon, Jabu, and it's 3 or 4 checks, so it's pretty unlikely that it even leads to an item to begin with. If it was something like, I don't know, like second strength and the third strength was locked behind second strength, that kind of a situation, I can see kind of grinding up towards that, or maybe if it was the long shot and water was way the hero or something, but with it only being boomerang, it was a little bit, I think, a little bit too aggressive on KillerApp's part here.
Yeah, skulls just eat up a lot of time if you're not careful, so you really want to just interplay them with decent checks rather than just go completely ham on them, unless you know there's definitely a required item on them. But KillerApp's still not checked 40 skulls, so it's, yeah, not great decision making on his part, unfortunately, here. Gonna get a Nocturne now, and presumably have a Burning Cack after this.
Yeah. I mean, KillerApp could be ahead of juwk even at this point, had he gone to dungeons a little bit sooner. I think his skull routing was good, but it's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, if Letter had come a bit earlier, his route may have paid off a bit better, but even then it still wouldn't have been as good as just focusing those progression dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this does turn out to be an AD seed. juwk's got the definite advantage in terms of like dungeon completion at this point, so he's going to be able to clean up quite nicely, I would imagine.
Even has all the small keys. Definitely gonna get the skull here.
Yeah, he might skip the one in the maze, but I imagine he'll be trying to get as many skulls as he can now.
I think it's 44, so I'm trying to think of like ones that you could get that are easier than the maze one, but it's right there.
Well, he's still got Fortress and Valley skulls he can do after this. So there's what, 2 in Valley, 2 in the Fortress, 1 in Wasteland.
I mean, the one archery skull in Fortress is definitely longer than the maze shadow one.
Yeah, true.
So I can't really see him getting that, but...
Yeah, Adult Spirit as well, that's true. We've got some time, so he can get the one in the lower part of the thing, lower part of Spirit Temple.
Mm-hmm. Showing off a little bit, juwk.
Yeah, no bell strats though, so... If you want to show off here, you do bell strats, let's be honest.
Yeah, you gotta do the bell if you want to show off. It's it's too risky for a lot of people. It's a tournament match, weekly, sure, yeah, go for it. But when it's a losers bracket of your tournament life,
yeah, maybe not the best idea to go for it.
No, but think of the swag potential.
KillerApp's planting the bean. Didn't think there was anything good on the archway. Was there?
I don't think so. Unless he missaw it or something. I think it was a piece of heart. Rupee? Purple
Yeah,
rupee?
I think it's a heart container. Maybe just planting the bean just because he had it on his C buttons. It was just like, oh, what the hell. Ooh, there's a letter. Holy crap. Juwk is Shadow
Wow.
and Ruto's Lesser.
Oh, good he didn't leave. Jeez.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that would have been a nasty thing to bail. Stone Shadow always finds its way. Get the second row of hearts.
Killer App gonna get the bad news and Child Spirit here in not too much longer.
Yeah, this one's been an interesting seed for sure. Definitely a worthy challenge for our top 32 runners here.
Yeah, I was about to say, Juke could just be using Scarecrow, and it is a little bit faster.
Did Duke confirm Scarecrow's song?
Should, because that's how he got the strength from Top of Lab.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Alright, time for Bongo Bongo. Yeah, Spirit could be way the hero for more or less anything. Obviously, apart from Boomerang, since we know what that is. Could be Light Arrows in there, could be Iron Boots. Or put. Are we missing anything else at this point? Light Arrows. I might have said Light Arrows.
It's gonna be Light Arrows. You could see 2 scales come into play. With only one Way of the Hero area left, though, really kind of unfulfilled Spirit. Probably just gonna be like irons or light arrows there, and then whatever other item is probably behind Jabu or in maybe bottom the well. A little hard to tell at this point. So we haven't.
Oh, there's Iron Boots. Fucking hell, this Shadow Temple.
What the hell?
Iron Boots.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is.
Dinsfire was definitely way of the hero, I think we can safely say at this stage.
Yeah, if you didn't think it was before, it's very much confirmed now to be the case.
And Juke's gonna finish clearing out Spirit Temple now, I guess. Or at least far enough to find whatever item is in here. I suppose at this point, since Juke's now only missing one item for Gome,
Lighters.
the letter, so no, not the letter, he's
Boomerang.
Boomerang and Light Arrows is all he's missing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So at this point, Spirit has to have Light Arrows?
Seems to be the case. So it's not technically all dungeons for...
Actually, no, Light Arrows could still be in the well.
Oh, it could be, yeah, because it could just be Mirror Shield actually is way the
yeah,
hero.
Mirror Shield could be way the hero just so we can clear Spirit, just so we can get to the bottom of the well.
Oh my god.
Or Frog's one, yeah, that's a possibility. Bigger onslaught there in map chest.
That's cool.
Compass chest, sorry.
Juke's just gonna clear the seed out very quickly.
That's what Juke does.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that KillerApp could make up the time here. Especially if it's actually all dungeons. It's really going to be missing out on having to go back to Goma at some point, and just that age swap is really just going to be too much time.
Yeah, there's just way too much left to do for Killer App, I think, at this stage. Spent too much time on unneeded overworld stuff and didn't get enough progression done.
Mm. Killer App gonna leave, not even checking Silver Gauntlet chest.
I guess he's hoping he reckons he can get strength 2 outside of it. Well, if
Yeah,
he's
he
been
has one
following,
shot.
if he's been following key logic, then he can safely assume that, since he's already, yeah, as you say, he's already got long shots.
Mm-hmm. And if there is a key, you can just get it right before going to Twin Rova too, so makes sense.
So Killer App's going to hand in his big Poe next. Not a jet we've seen so far, although probably not going to give us anything useful at this stage.
Killer App getting the skull at OGC, I think.
Yeah, it's a relatively quick skull to grab.
Ooh, we're gonna skull up here. Very nice. So 47? Yep.
Yeah, Juwk should have 50 by the time he gets to Gerudo Fortress, I think. So even if he does Gerudo Fortress, he might not have any reason to go there at this point. There's a Zora scale.
Oh no. Scale.
I mean, scale's totally useless at this point, at least for Juwk, so he's not going to be worried about finding that.
Yeah, it could be pointing to Lab Dive.
If he is pointing at Lab Dive, then that's fine. I bet Lab Dive than doing all dungeons.
I mean, Irons are behind Shadow anyway, so like...
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's just going to commit to the full clear, unless he finds light before Twin Rova somehow, but...
yeah, if he finds lights, then obviously that's GG, because he'll be in go mode. Or no mode, at least. It's interesting he's not prioritising the mirror shield lock checks, though. I guess, like you say, it's just committed to the full clear at this point. Yeah, the lake dive check, I think, was just a bundle of arrows or something. Whatever it was junk.
It's a little weird that Killer App hasn't gone Shadow yet, but it might be making the same mistake that I was making earlier and assuming that Dins was only for the Key Logic and Spirit. Might be forgetting that the fire arrows were in Forest Temple on Phantom Ganon.
Not sure if he actually saw those arrows or not, to be honest, because he went straight into the blue light as soon as he finished Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, I didn't
looked like
check it green, but yeah, it might have been that he just missed him completely, which would be really unfortunate here. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. I think it's pretty far behind, but yeah. Could be finishing GTG when Juwk finishes or goes to Ganon's castle here. depending on how the key layout is in water. And the scale there is actually really nice for juke. It's not completely useless. It does have Serenade, so we'll be getting to Jabu very quickly.
Yeah, it's convenient for that at the very least. Okay, we've got 2 more checks here in Spirit Temple now. If neither of those are the light arrows, that means we need summer storms.
And this seed would have been really cool for a weekly type situation, though, because you would have a lot of people bailing at a lot of different points in shadow. You could have a lot of people like going back to shadow.
If I rolled this seed for a weekly, there'd be people out for my blood. I think it would have just been. There would be so many people just been like completely and utterly trolled by this seed.
Oh yeah.
You see KillerApp now heading for the fortress. This is what I would have been based on if I was playing this seed. I was saying earlier I would have made the fortress play. Because the opponent was relatively early, but of course it wasn't early in the logic, because of that little niggle with Sarias and Minuets. Kind of makes GTG look like the right play, but actually it's probably not going to give us anything good at all. Though it could of course be maybe Strength 3 is out here. Don't think that's going to be important, mind, but... Juke's doing Lab Dive, okay. Yeah, Juke didn't do Twin Rover, he's maybe hoping he doesn't have to bother with that boss fight.
49.
Yeah, the other possibility is that Scalar's way the hero, so that's why he's come here. Does kind of make sense, he's 1 item from Go mode, this check is quicker than Twin Rover. Just a bug in a bottle though, so no. Straight back to Spirit Temple, I guess. Oh wait, he's going to do Water Temple first.
Water,
yeah.
yeah.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, that bottle will be really nice for skulls here. Just kidding. Yeah, this is 100 skull seed. Ooh.
Let's not talk about 100 skull seeds.
No.
Yeah, Juke is just missing Boomerang Light Arrows, so... Light Arrows, probably at this point, I think we have to assume are behind all dungeons. Either that or they're on Twin Rover. Yeah, let's see what Water Temple has for us. Early boss key would be quite nice here.
Yeah, that's a really good point from Cola in chat. Based off of KillerApp's previous matches here, at least the one against ATZ, where they both put off Twin Rover for a very, very long time. I think it was the last location even, maybe in the little seed. And it had like the last way the hero item, or it had like the last, thing that they actually needed for the seed. So it's kind of funny that Juke is skipping Twin Rover though.
Yeah, it did kind of make sense for him to do Lab Dive first, just in case that was the actual way of the hero. There's a lot of areas where the other scale could be, Duke knows like he's got all of GTG and Greedo Fortress that they may turn up in and other stuff like that, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, now he does definitely know he has to do Twin Rover, like there's no other option for this seed. Sure, he'll be straight back into Spirit Temple just as soon as he's got water out of the way. Yeah, Mirror Shield and Zora Scale, the only items we found in Spirit Temple. Zora Scale is not Way of the Hero, Duke just confirmed that, that means Mirror Shield has to be. So either Light Arrows are on Twin Rover or Light Arrows are behind some Storms. I suppose we can technically rule out opponents on being Way of the Hero now. So I don't think that led to anything. Like we got the long shot to cross the wasteland first, didn't we, in logic?
Yeah, they definitely did not need Song of Time at all in the seed. Unless, I mean, we don't know for sure yet. Yeah, because of the...
I was wondering about, yeah, key logic stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Spirit, they would have already had the hovers, because Strength 2 was in Shadow. They already had the bow and Forest Temple. That's pretty much it outside of River Chest.
That 50 skulls there for Duke?
Yeah, it's the 50th one.
Unless he saves comes this.
Yeah. It's a bit weird to save there and then get the skull. Okay, it's key anyway, so doesn't really lose out on a ton here.
So rare we see the green text appear on the item tracker. There it is. 50 skulls apiece.
That's what I like to see.
So yeah, I suppose technically the can call is 100 skull seeds, since both runners had to collect 50 each. That's how it works, right? KillerApp heading into GTG. Probably going to be a whole lot of nothing in here, unfortunately. KillerApp just not feeding Shadow Temple, I guess. It's putting it off completely for now. I sort of understand where he's coming from, but definitely not the right play in this situation.
Mm-hmm. It'd be good to ask him if he even saw the fire arrows in Forest.
Yeah, let's see if he comes in for an interview or not. Duke heading for the central pillar now. Possible we need that some more time to get to River Chest. That might be where our boss key's hiding. Killer App's getting the silver rupees. You'll know that? No, wait, no, never mind, he's not. I called it too soon. It looked like he was collecting them. Light Arrows is either AD or it's on Twin Rover. There's the only two possibilities left. So, for all intents and purposes, it's AD, I think, at this point. Although Deku Tree didn't actually give us anything useful, apart from Slingshot.
Technically for Child Spirit, I think, because the only other one was in Adult Spirit.
Well, unless it was possible for us to get 50 skulls before doing Spirit Temple.
True.
Which might have been the case, but I'm not sure. That would have been tight, I think.
Yeah, at the very least, very inefficient, so...
Yeah.
Not really a consideration for the runners.
Yeah, nothing we can do about juwk's stream, unfortunately. That's on his end. Getting a bit of potato internet connection or something going on there.
Yeah, it's been pretty good for the majority of the race, though, so it should clear up in not very long from now.
Hopefully, yeah. Oh dear.
Ooh.
Didn't quite equip the hover beast quick enough there.
Ooh.
Never mind.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever seen that.
A
way to get up from the depths there.
I would have just gone for the other hookshot target, to be honest, because I would have saved him having to bring the heads back down and up again.
Well, what about the swag? Where's the swag in that?
The swag is it saves time, okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean that's the kind of the point of swag, though, right? I mean it looks cool, but usually doesn't save time. Usually. It depends what it is, really. Very fast Dark Link for juwk.
Well, thanks for the screen though. I couldn't see whether that was boss key or not, but juwk's resetting, so I assume he got it.
Yep. I think based on the key logic, it has to be a small key in river chest, so pretty safely going to Morpha right now. So yeah, juwk. When he fell going through the room to Dark Link, so he hookshotted the target on the dragon head, like the very right side of it, to then jump slash up there.
Light arrow bet, I don't know. It's like there's only so many locations light arrows can be at this point. I think it'd be a bit of a pointless bet.
For his wind, finally found and GTT by a killer.
Not the item he was hoping for, that's for sure.
No. Yeah, 2.5 hours in. Gotta be feeling incredibly far behind if you're killer here in the spot.
Yeah, Killer App still needing Strength 2, Light Arrows, Iron Boots, and Ruto's Letter. That's quite the shopping list he still has to deal with. And half of those are in Shadow Temple, so yeah.
There's nothing on sale at Costco, so he's gonna have a really tough time finding these items.
Topical jokes.
Yeah, can't get them at the item wholesale retailers, so.
Alright, juwk done with Water Temple. Yep, straight back to Spirit now. Not even stopping for shooting the sun, and yeah. Makes total sense on his part, just go straight for all dungeons and straight for, hopefully, the light arrows. Unless we've all made a grievous mistake in reading the logic in this seed.
Yeah.
KillerApp is heading for Shadow Sample, yay!
Yeah, it's...
Better late than never, right?
Yeah, I mean... really depends on what happens here for him. Could just bail at pretty much any point finding an item in here, but I think... yeah, I think... Strength 2, Letter, Iron Boots, pretty much any of those. Except maybe the Iron Boots, that's on Bongo, so it's... gonna be interesting to see what he does here.
There's not really any reason for Juke to go straight to Ganon. I mean, I suppose he could maybe clear up whether it's a grotto or frogs rather than bottom of the well, but it doesn't really seem worth the time and effort. Especially since he doesn't have FW, so he'd have to make the climb twice. They're having a little bit of trouble setting up Dead Hand here. It's a reasonably nice phase 1 for Twin Rover. Didn't get messed about too much.
Yeah, pretty much no nonsense coming in here from Twin Rover yet.
That hookshot strat always scares me.
Why is that?
Using the hookshot on Twin Rover in the second phase. If you do it just after she shoots her spell, it makes her move to the next platform faster. But yeah, you got like a very short window there in order to use the hookshot and then bring up the mirror shield before the spell hits you.
Yeah, I mean, it's more or less just a positioning issue. It's just like the first phase of Twin Rover.
Yeah.
It's all just positioning, but if you're a little bit right next to the edge, not too close because you don't want to get hit off the edge by tanking the element hit there, but if you're just like a stone throw away from the edge, it's really nice to do that.
And yeah, Twin Rover just had a piece of heart, so that means it's all dungeons. Confirmed, we need Summer Storms. It's either going to be a bottom of the well, or it's going to be one of the Storms grottos, or it might be Frogs 1, but either way, the hero is pointing us straight to Summer Storms. That is going to be Duke's next stop. Yeah, I don't have an Oops 50 Skulls meme, unfortunately. I think we should probably make one for these situations. You're going for the old school strat of taking the owl to go to grab Ocarina of Time. I don't know whether this is still faster or not. I suspect not. I think it's faster just to walk out nowadays.
I think this. I don't know about that. I think
This route used to be faster because the drawbridge would be up, but as you can see there, the drawbridge is now down at the start of the cutscene instead of up, so you don't get deposited straight into the moat when you leave by Castle Town.
At the very least, it's very close.
Yeah, very close. But yeah, our cutscene removed, that's a point. And of course the warp cutscene as well. But if both of those are gone, it does make a difference. So looks like Juke's gonna head for bottom of the well first.
Okay, remember when we had cutscenes on Rando? That was a time. And every warp song had the cutscene.
I still vaguely remember the time before we cut out the chest cutscenes. They had to sit for 5 seconds every time you opened up an item.
Ugh. Oh, that's so gross. Yeah, that's back when 4 or 5 hour seeds were the standard, right?
Yep. What a time to be alive. So, bottom of the well. I mean, it's most likely bottom of the well has the light arrows, but it's possible all the same, vaguely possible that this is a trap.
Yeah, I mean, he's just gonna go for the density play right now.
Yeah.
Takes a roughly probably the same amount of time if light arrows are here than to travel around the world looking for Song of Storms checks. So if they aren't, I mean they aren't in here, but I think it'll be faster or about the same time anyway.
We haven't found Zora Tunic, but I think Central Pillar was a junk item, so it doesn't actually matter.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna guess that they're... Where could lights be in here?
My guess is gonna be the coffin chest.
Well, that's what
the coffin, it's not a chest.
Okay, I gotta do something different. Let's go with like the small middle.
The one by the skulls there.
Yep. There's KillerApp getting strength and continuing onward. Okay.
Good.
Wouldn't really expect them to bail, but it is possible. Juke was thinking about it, so...
Wait, where's Juke going?
Probably in a similar situation.
Slightly unusual route that Juke's taking here.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to not play ZL.
I suppose if we can avoid it, it will save him a little bit of time.
Also just noticed he's pretty low on nuts, so probably gonna pick up more before going Jabu. Oh, damn.
KillerApp is bailing Shadow Temple. He's set FW, but now he's decided it's time for Spirit.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, Juke was thinking about it pretty hard from the looks of it, so
yeah.
With Roar's Wind, it's kind of...
KillerApp does already have Mirror Shield as well, so he can full clear Spirit. So I can see where he's coming from, like why he's thinking this is a good play. And if he goes back to Shadow Temple after this, then it's fine really. So he's not really going to lose him much time. They set FW there, so he can easily get back as soon as he's done here.
kind of banking on the fact that Mirror Shield is probably not going to be the way of the hero item. I mean, we of course do know it is,
Yeah.
but ooh,
Oh,
not fountain chest
rip my
either.
bet.
Yeah. Well, if it's just not even in here, that's very possible still.
It is possible, yeah. So we've got Lock Pits, Basement, and Front Underwater, Dead Hands, Steve. Let's see, 4 more checks I think to go. Four checks inside and then 3 checks outside. There they are. Steve has the light arrows.
We are in go mode for juwk. And at this point, is not going to be stopped by KillerApp. KillerApp is pretty far behind. Doesn't even have a 1 spiritual stone in an all dungeon. Of course, he probably doesn't know that it's all dungeons, but yeah.
Right, if he clears Spirit Temple out here, then that will tell him it's all dungeons.
Yeah.
I guess. Assuming he's paying attention to the way of the hero stuff.
Right. He might not even get to. Juwk might finish before, or like as he finishes it, so he might even learn for sure that it's all dungeons once Juwk finishes too. Or rather, as he finishes.
Duke saying farewell to the bugs. They served us well in this seed. Now they may go free. Alright, time for Jabba Jabbu. Go mode Jabbu, so not going to be seeing any checks in here most likely. You're just going to be plowing through as quickly as he can. Well, it didn't pick up any Deku Nuts though, so that's going to slow him down a bit.
Ooh, yeah. It's not too bad, but yeah, it will definitely be slowing him down.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. But yeah, the dungeon can easily be cleared without the nuts, so just not very
really
nice.
Need him for Baronade. Because you can just use like a chew or a bomb for the berries they're called. In the tentacle room, the middle tentacle room.
Mm.
Outside of that, I only would need him for Baronade. And for Baronade, you can actually just do a lot of quick side hopping plus some rank throws and you should be able to get it no problem. And it's not too much slower than nuts. I mean, it obviously is slower, but it's workable at least. And it does look like juwk is going to finish the sub 3, so pretty impressive. 50 skull all dungeons and just having no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff he's gotten done in three short hours.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it was just reading into the logic this seed too. You really had to know a couple pieces of really critical information.
Yeah, juwk got a very efficient route going through the early part of this seed. Well, through all of it, I think. He's not really had many hiccups or slow parts to drag him down or whatever. He didn't get baited into going Fortress or Guerrilla Training Grounds, any of that. Nor Ice Cavern, although I think you'd have to go pretty far out of the way to get baited into Ice Cavern on this seed.
Yeah. You'd have to go like Shadow before like doing Spirit at all, I guess. I mean, you'd have to do that anyway, but how do you know like at what point you could do Shadow over what, like forest or something like that. But that's not
Yeah,
even.
be a bit crazy, I think.
Yeah, something weird. I mean, you can't even do that because of the nocturne. Yeah, so I don't think you even can. But you getting the nice cutscene skip there. You always do have to be careful with doing that, though. If you skip the cutscene there, you actually delete the chest from the game. So you have to be 100% sure that you don't need that that item from that chest.
I think Duke can be fairly sure of that at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean he's in go mode, so he's safe to do it. But good to know for those that don't. It's a pretty easy one to get. You just kind of stay at the furthest point that you aggro the tentacle there, and then you just backwalk as you throw it, and it's really just a case of just going through the door.
Right, hardest mini boss. If Duke's got the skills to go with this, maybe he can do it. Oh, he does it. Amazing.
Nice.
It's tough, you know. You got to do that roll, and well, that's about it, really.
Oh, did not know about the nuts there in that pot. It's extremely good to know.
As I said earlier, know your pots.
Yeah. Oh, going for the double tentacle one throw. Doesn't quite get it.
Duke's going for the frame perfect trick here to open the door without a crate.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets it. Right,
Going
into
all out.
Baronade.
Yeah.
KillerApp finishing off Twin Rover. KillerApp's shortly going to find out it's all dungeons, and at that point probably going to accept his fate as how the season's played out, since he knows then he's got to go back and finish Deku Tree, and he's got to do all of Shadow Temple. Or, well, at least a half of it he's got to be left behind. Yeah, sub 3 is going to be cutting it a little bit fine for Duke. So he's probably going to enter Ganon's Tower like 255, probably. So yeah, we'll need to be quite quick up the tower.
Should be a sub 3. We're really close though, as you're saying.
Oh dear, KillerApp missed the spell there.
Like if he has a perfect Ganon's Tower here and 2 perfect fights, he has Prelude, so it's not too slow to get back to adult. Can be just like a flat 5 for Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, it's about as fast as it could be, really. I mean, yeah, he's got Prelude, he's got the bigger on sword, he's got magic, and all of that, so doesn't need to stop by for anything else. He can just go straight up, straight to Gandalf. So there's a chance.
Yeah, his time is still insane though. It's
Yeah.
very, very good.
Nice gift from Zelda there. Really broke the bank on that one. 1 recovery heart. And there we go, KillerApp has finished Spirit Temple. And probably is now despairing a little.
Yeah, getting that confirmation that it's an all dungeon seed, and juwk also just entering Ganon's castle at the same time, so
Yeah.
it's wow.
KillerApp heading back to Spirit to use that FW, I guess. Go back to Shadow Temple, finish it off. I don't imagine he'll get the chance though.
No, I won't even reach Bongo at this point.
As those Stealth dealt with very nicely. Well, for juwk, I think pretty much every seed is technically a practice seed.
Yeah.
It's just what juwk does.
I mean, it's a fair point too. Every seed is a learning opportunity, so
Oh yeah.
it's a good way to approach the game, I think.
It's very difficult to completely optimize Ocarina of Time. And even if you do that, someone is going to find a new trick like 2 days afterwards and you have to reroute everything.
Especially true for the vanilla game, but Randomizer also the same thing, just different tricks and optimizations, really.
Yeah, there's some plenty of shared tech between the two. Yeah, due to the kind of rule set restrictions on most randomizer races, it means you have to use a lot more glitches strats, and also quite a few strats that are kind of unique to the randomizer, because much like the bingo racers in this game, like randomizer throws you into a lot of situations that in vanilla game you'd almost never see. Just because it would be like a contradiction, like in terms of like what items you find where and that sort of thing. And yeah, that can lead to some pretty interesting techniques being needed. Nice Ganondorf fight. Yes, it's about as close as we've gotten to a perfect tracker, really, isn't it? Duke just needs a couple more bows, another bomb bag, another slingshot, and that minuet, and that'll be it, really.
I don't think we've even seen the third slingshot. I think what was it? Crater Bean was a bomb bag, potentially?
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look at it either. It was a little bit too dark on both runner streams here, but
Yeah. I always prefer to look at that heart piece from up top where the bomb ball grotto is, so you can get a much better vantage point on it from there, and it's a lot clearer.
And a scale too.
Yeah. Didn't find gold scale. First phase again and down.
Yeah, KillerApp not even gonna be able to finish his boat ride? Like, oh.
Yeah, like just as he said, he's not going to get to bomb guy.
Yeah.
He might just get to Ruto's letter, but it's not looking too likely.
No.
Yeah, ripped the sub 3 unfortunately. It was very, very close, but just a few seconds shy of it. And there's the final blow. Duke finishing first place, final SRL time, 3 hours and 38 seconds. GG's.
Yeah, GG, that's a rock solid time. Rock solid run overall.
Yeah. Alright, let's pull the runners in for an interview. Let's see what they've got to say for themselves. Hello, Duke and KillerApp. GG's. Hopefully they can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you now. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Well, thank you, then. I really love that seed.
Oh, I bet you did. I was saying earlier, if I'd rolled this for a weekly, there'd probably be several people out for my blood at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have two straight tournaments where I've had a race with 50 skull boomerang.
Oh yeah. It's tough to see.
Yeah.
Kind of what are your general thoughts about the seed?
Not too much when you have to do everything, but I knew early on I had to try to take a couple gambles, try to cut the time where I could. I thought I routed skulls okay. I guess Sunsong was pretty early, so it really didn't matter as far as routing skulls. You can get them at any time, but other than that, it sucks.
I think that was the main killer. Unfortunately, was just you spent a lot of time with like overworld checks and collecting the skulls for the tokens, but it was the dungeons really that kind of made this seed, especially Spirit Temple with getting that mirror shield and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sort of took a big gamble too, and when I got Way of the Hero, knew Din's Fire was Way of the Hero, I sort of thought, well, the right play would have been go straight to Shadow Temple when I got Nocturne, but I decided to go towards the Wasteland.
Yeah. Not anything there, unfortunately. Nothing in G2G either.
Yeah, it was all garbage except for the Furores, I guess.
Yeah, the Shadow Temple just had like flipping everything. Like, you only got as far as the bicycles, but if you carried on a little bit further, Ruto's Lesser was in the boss key chest.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
do it anyway because I
yeah,
knew after beating Spirit that it was AD.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you had Ruto's Lesser in there, and you had
Mhm.
Iron Boots as well on Bongo. So
Yeah,
Shadow was definitely the place to be on this seed.
yeah.
Hard to avoid GTG though. I think a lot of runners would have gone there
I,
regardless.
I I would definitely have gone there. Like I would have been totally baited by Gerudo.
Yeah, I guess it was one of the in logic checks because I don't know where the logical wallet was for beating Fire Temple.
And yeah, I'm not sure on that either, to be honest. We did get Goron Tunic in somewhere, I think.
That was I
In
think
Shadow.
in Shadow, but
Oh,
that was out of
Shadow,
logic.
yeah.
Yep.
Right, yeah. Yeah, not sure then.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure myself too because we've seen. I think we saw everything, and 40 was last in logic. So
Well, I guess.
unless-
Well, yeah, I guess Forest would have been in logic if. Oh, you had to go through the wasteland to get the logical Sarias, I think.
I will not
That would have put Forest in logic.
I'm gonna see what's going on here. Let's have a look. Yeah, Shadow Temple was the logical Goron Tunic.
Yeah, it makes
look at
sense
it.
now. You had to get you had to cross the wasteland to get Sarias for Forest logic.
Yeah, so you're expected to dip into Fire Temple to get the lens,
Mm-hmm.
then get the long shot from 40 Skulls. Use both of those to cross over the wasteland
Oh my god.
to get Nocturne. Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting seed, that's for sure. And that's one of the worst ones I've rolled for a while.
Yeah.
What left for me, I guess. But oh well. I had fun.
Yeah, that's the main part. I mean, I think a lot of the calculated risks that you took were all pretty good, and I mean, I think they're all pretty. You know, there's a reason that you made all of them, so I don't think it was necessarily wrong to make them. At least for me, I probably would have tried to limit the overworld travel and checks, and if it was a maybe different item on 50 skulls, I think you can make the case for that. But with it being boomerang,
since it was skulls, I just tried to route in checks and skulls at the same time,
right?
which didn't help me. But what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, it could have easily been like an item on overworld, and then at that point you're ahead. So I think the only other thing,
that lift upgrade was pretty trolly too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Juke got it after you did for sure. But at that point, he was 2 progression dungeons ahead. So that's kind of what I wanted to say was the only thing that I think he could have done differently is just go to DC a lot sooner, and then fire a lot sooner. But outside of that, though,
yeah, that was an early bomb bag too. That sort of hindered my early adult play.
Yeah,
that was an unfortunate check to skip, really.
Yeah.
But he did get the bomb cheese, which did kind of ease the blow a little bit. But then,
that's what actually kept me going. If the bomb cheese weren't there, I probably would have saved and quit.
Yeah, the only thing, of course, was them missing the hammer and DMC. I think if you gotten that hammer, you would have probably done a lot better.
I knew I could have got that too, but I skipped it. I didn't save Scum with you. But oh well.
Live and learn, right?
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go get lunch. So thanks for the restream, guys. Thanks for commentating, and thanks for everyone putting the tournament together. I had fun. And good luck to Juke the rest of the way.
Thank you for playing. It was great to see your run here. A little unfortunate it ended early, but yeah, I mean, you took down one giant at the very least in the tournament, so.
Yes. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
Alright, well, speaking of taking down giants, we got the Majora's Mask randomizer going on at the moment on ZSR2, so We're going to go over and raid them and see how they're getting on with their seed. Hopefully it's not quite as terrible as the one I just rolled here, but you never know. I mean, there's one thing
Hard
that
to
can be
do.
sure, since it's MM, it will be an all dungeon seed, because that's just how MM works, so
Yeah.
there you go. Anyway, before we go, quick shout out to our trackers. Both of them being wonderful people who keep us up to date on our systems, Saberstorm and T-Riz today. Thank you very much. GG's, and yeah, cheers to my co-commentator as well, Emo, who've been a pleasure.
Thank you. Likewise.
Alright, folks. Make sure you check out the schedule for more runs coming up. We do have Twilight Princess runs later this evening, and of course we've got the weekly later tonight as well, so probably see you around for that. But yeah, that's it from me, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.